Hey, Catherine. Take two. Let's try this again.
Hi, Tosh. Happy to be here.
Awesome. So, for those of you that missed the little debacle a minute ago, we tried to go live on the page, didn't work. So, we're back here in Zoom. So, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Tash Vanzetti, discovery coach and mentor, and I'm here to help you master your mind shift so you can actually go and create the business that you want, not the one that, is this pipe dream up in the air. So, what I'm doing today is starting the Master Your Mind Shift interview series with Catherine from Brb Yoga. Thank you, Catherine. um,
Thank you.
because this conversation, so I've been running this group called 100K in 100 days, and it scared the pants off a lot of people, but we had 55 amazing women come into the group, and it's been a huge eye-opener for me and for them and for all of us to see what it really takes to run a business and the shit that we go through every single day. It's the emotional roller coaster, isn't it? It's the mind shit that comes up every single day. And Catherine posted in the group about some webinars she was running and some things she was dealing with. And it was such an important message. And I thought this needs to go beyond the group. And that's also sparked the idea of the Master Your Mind Shift interview series, because we all struggle with these things. And sometimes we let it stop us from doing what we need to do or what we want to do. So for those of you who don't know you, Catherine, just give us a little bit of a background on what you do, what you're up to, and what your business is all about.
Sure. Yeah. So I am a yoga instructor and postpartum health expert, and I help busy moms use yoga to restore their core strength and pelvic floor health after they have had babies so that they can get back to doing all the stuff they love.
Yes, I do remember those days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I love what you do. Like, I've been watching your videos on your page, and I wish I'd, found you. What was it? My youngest is 12 now.
Right.
You say in America that we don't, you don't treat your mums well after birth. And I think it's the same here in Australia. It's getting a lot better. But when I had my babies, 12 and 13 years ago, there wasn't a lot of guidance. Like, I had issues, and there wasn't a lot of guidance as to what to do. I was just told, wait 6 weeks and then you can go back to doing whatever you want to do.
Exactly.
That was really hard.
Which is crazy.
I
Crazy.
just stepped back into that.
Yeah.
And I loved on one of your videos the other day that you said, we need to treat childbirth like an injury because your body has gone through a lot.
Yeah.
People take more time off for a bit of, sprained ankle. And that's not nearly as severe as what our body goes through when we have kids. So thank you for being the one that's sharing this message and helping all those women and new mums out there do what's right for them and really get to that place of support and understanding about what is really going on for them.
Oh, well, you're welcome. It's like such a joy that that's what I'm able to do, because I just know, mom, we take such good care of moms when they're pregnant, and then it's like you have the baby and, oh, let's forget about you. We've got this baby now.
Yeah.
And it ends up, so many women are like sitting on the sidelines of their life, and it doesn't have to happen. So it's a really fun job to have every day.
And I think it's, it's one of those topics too that we don't often talk about. I think we might joke about it. We might talk about it with one or two people, but it's not common knowledge, and everyone is going through this silent horror of, oh my God, I can't do what I want to do, or I should be further along, or I should be able to pull myself together, I should. And yet we're all going through the same thing, but no one will talk about it. So yeah.
Just like business too, right? It's very similar. Yeah.
Perfect segue, right? So, when I was starting my business, I would see all these beautiful, successful people out there, and they're doing amazing things, and they're doing big launches, and they're helping tons of people, and they've got all their shit figured out. And I, behind the scenes, was a complete mess and a complete wreck, thinking I was the only one that couldn't quite pull it together, that couldn't quite figure out what I needed to do. And that's what I loved about the group, is the 100K and 100 Day group, is that we're really starting to see and open up about what it's really like for all of us. And it's so reassuring to know that we all have the same hiccups and stumbles and face plants, but it's a matter of getting back up and what lessons can we take from that. So I loved in the group when you shared about your webinar series that you were doing. And I'll just do a brief overview and then I'll let you sort of take over from there.
Yeah.
But, you're running an online business. You're amazing. You and your family, your husband and your two kids are traveling the country in an RV, and you're running an online business. So you're living the dream, right? Traveling around.
Right. Yes.
But the reality is that it really does come down to, you need to generate revenue. You're here to help people, but at the end of the day, you need to generate revenue to sustain that lifestyle, to grow that business. right?
Mm-hmm.
And what can happen is we can get in our own way so much when we need the revenue, we need to make the business work. We have all this pressure and expectation and all the shoulds of what it's meant to be. And you shared a really great example. You were running webinars for your audience. Yes, it was leading into a program because you're there to help people. And honestly, the best way to help people is get them invested in their own well-being and really take them deep and forward into how they're going to make that better. And you shared the example of some webinars that you'd done, and one was a test run, all good. One was amazing. You showed up and it was great and you had a great result. And the next one, not so much. So do you want to share a little bit about what happened over those few weeks?
Yeah. So this is, it's been quite a roller coaster. So that's exactly what happened. So we have been doing, and I'll say we a lot because my husband works with me in the business as well, but I'm very much the face of it and kind of the driver of all of it. But we have done webinars in the past, and we had this one set webinar and I could deliver it kind of in my sleep and I knew it worked. And then I had been doing some research about how to optimize webinars. And so I found this new format, and that was why I was doing the test run, right? So I did the test. That was just like, let's just run through it. Then on that one that you said that went really well, it was like, okay, I think I walked into it with the mindset of like, this is an experiment and I'm going to try this out and see how it goes. And I didn't have any expectations of revenue or anything. It was literally like, let's just see how this works. And it worked wonderfully. I mean, I felt good delivering it. It was the first time when I was giving a webinar where it felt easy. Usually when I give a webinar, at the end of it, I'm drained. I have like a hangover the next day from, I don't know, the energy that I'm exerting on it. Yeah. I had none of that this time, and really fantastic sales. So that was, that I went on the high, right? Yeah. I was like, I am unstoppable. This is going to work forever. I don't have to worry about anything anymore. And it also came off the tail of December, which was my best month in 2017. So I had a really good December. Then this webinar happened right at the beginning of January. So in the first 5 days of January, I matched my revenue from December. So I was like, business is booming. And so then it was like, well, yeah, this is easy. It's finally easy, right? And then it was like, okay, well, let's do it again and just, let's keep the system rolling. Yeah. And so that webinar, I showed up, and the moment I turned like the record button on, right, to go live, my whole body was shaking. I was like in such a different mindset. I felt fear from the moment it began. And I think it was because I knew it could work. And now it was like, it can work, but I can also mess it up. Right. And so that fear was there. So I went through it. I delivered it. It was very messy. Looking at the video of that versus the video of the last one, like my energy level was entirely different. And the sales were just dismal. I mean, we barely broke even in terms of just like the marketing costs to get people on there. So it really was a complete flop. So that's kind of the summary of it. Do you want more? Should I stop?
It's just, I think it's a great reminder that some days we nail it and some days we don't, because usually we don't, because we put that expectation or that pressure on ourselves. And what I figured out is that we don't like to be wrong. Like as human beings, we don't like to be wrong. So if we create the belief that this is amazing, it's going to work, that's generally what happens. If we then switch that and let fear take over and say, actually, I could really stuff this up.
I could mess this up. Yeah.
That intention, I'm going to stuff this up. And you don't want to be wrong. Like your ego, whatever you want to call it, is going, okay, let's stuff it up. And you did. You're like, well, great, that's good. I stuffed it up, but I'm also still right. So, and we do it to ourselves all the time. So I call this scenario, how it plays out, I call it all about, the mind shit. It's the stories we believe that keep us playing small. Because if we believe something's not possible, we will create that reality. If we believe something is completely possible and it's all for us and it's, opportunities everywhere, that's what we step into every single day. And we see all the opportunities they're waving at us. But if we don't think there's anything out there, we have blinkers on. We can't see them.
Yeah. No, totally. And I think that that's where I went after, like, just, the mindset afterwards, really was this, have I like hit my limit?
Yeah.
Am I sabotaging myself because I
Mhm.
did so well at the beginning of the month that now I have to like balance it out and
Mhm.
make this month kind of consistent with what has happened before
Well, it
always.
was a new reality for you, wasn't it? Because, oh my gosh, like this isn't my normal reality. So something's got to give. Like I'm not used to this feeling. It feels weird. Like
Yeah.
we have this comfort zone and then we can bounce around within that. But once we start to really stretch out, it's like this big fat rubber band and it will just snap us back. It's like, oh, that's
Right.
a bit weird. I'm just going to
I
snap back
know.
into my comfort zone.
Yeah, exactly. I love that analogy. When you posted that in the group, I was like, oh, that is so true. It is. And it's like, and it's not like, oh, a gentle pushback. It is like a snap
Just snap.
back where you get like thrown back down into the middle of it.
Yeah. And I think that's where this is where the fun starts, is we get snapped back and we come back to our current reality or what our current belief is, and then we accept it. So
Right.
mistake number one is accepting that that is your actual reality. But what we can do, and what you did, and I love that you did this, is you just went, well, actually, you reflected on that and you acknowledged where the problem was, and you acknowledged that, hang on a minute, I actually made this about me, not about my audience. And this is one of the weeks we went through in the 100K group, was that it's not about you when you're delivering. I love the kids in the background, by the way. I have my
I
dog.
know. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I have
They're
my
being cared for.
dog. It's all
That
good.
someone is taking care of them, even though they're crying really hard.
It's totally fine. What was I saying? Ah,
Oh, that I made it about me. The
yes,
whole,
that's
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So when we make it about ourselves, we put the pressure on ourselves. It's about us. It's about our revenue goals. It's about us not being good enough, not ready. We're going to stuff it up, blah, blah, blah. And so we create that. And when we flip that over and make it about our audience, because like you said, for the one that did really well, you were just there to help them. Like you're all about helping these women and these mums just really understand what's going on. You really want to make life better for them. So I think in our chit chats before, you made a really good point of that service mindset versus the sales mindset.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think I'm so appreciative of the group and the just the whole 100K in 100 days, because it is this it was such perfect timing to be in that space and have this happen, because it really did kind of set me up in a mindset to be like, okay, this is not the end of the world and we can bounce back from it. And really, yeah, in reflection on it, I think because of all the prompts that you were putting in there about it not being about us, it really did make me realize that I went from feeling like, oh, the first time I was testing it out, I was like, this is really going to help a lot of people and I can't wait to help people. And then the next time it was like, I made all these sales. Now I need to make these sales again or make more sales. And it totally was a shift in mindset, of where I was coming from. And then also just the place of the first time I was doing it as a test, so there was no fear, and then the second place it was about me and I had fear, and so it was like this big mess of stuff going on. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I'm so appreciative of you sharing that story, because we all go through it. And, we'll go out there and we'll launch a program or we'll launch something and it won't go to plan. We won't reach our numbers. And we'll sit there and go, oh, I suck at this. This is never going to work. And we just continue the story. But when you dive into it, if you look at why that didn't work, it's because we didn't show up. We didn't do the things we knew we needed to do. We just stayed safe and small and hidden and didn't really tell anyone about it. So how could they actually know about it to therefore buy it or invest in it or whatever the thing was? So yeah, it's been a really good thing. And the other thing I think too that I loved is you didn't just say, call it quits after that disaster. You've actually got another one scheduled for tomorrow. Go back and go again.
I do, because I'm crazy. No, it's true. And it was, I have to actually give my husband credit for that, because it was like, we finished it and he was like, we should just do another one. And at that point I was like, absolutely not. I cannot. I'm not ready for that yet. Because now we've done a live webinar. We have done 3 in like 3 weeks, basically. We did it the week before Christmas, the week after Christmas, like we just did it.
Yeah.
So I wasn't ready. But then sitting with it and reflecting on it and really, again, realizing that I am the one that is standing in my own way, that it is my, oops.
That's okay. You're back.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm back. My mindset that is going to keep me from succeeding. And if I say no, then I definitely won't do better. And if I say yes and say, okay, let's do it again, let's schedule it, then I at least have the chance to take, because it was such a learning experience too.
Yeah.
There was just so many lessons, we've like reviewed the tape of it and they're redone the script and talked about the way I'm delivering things and my energy level and all that. And so now I'm going into it tomorrow, not only with a different mindset, but also more prepared in how I want to be delivering the material. So it is hopefully all going to be a win. It is a win, even if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right. It's still a win because just for doing it, showing up again.
Yeah. And I think too, when we have the intention, and I have no problem with people setting revenue goals. Like that's what supports our businesses. But when we set the intention about, I'm here to help these people understand what's going on within them. So the first intention with all of the work that you're doing is to really help people understand what's going on and let them know there is a solution to it, that they don't have to suffer any longer. And when you, again, focus on the clients at the end of the day, that's when your energy will come from that place of service. That's and people, I don't know, we're very perceptive beings. We can pick up on these things. We can pick up if someone's there truly for us or just in it for themselves.
Right.
And with all of the online stuff that's going on these days, we can pick things a mile away whether we realize it or not.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's really a really good lesson for all of us. And with anything that we do in business, it is about what am I going to learn from this? So if you go into it like with that question mark, is it going to work? Will it work? You've got to flip that over to what am I going to learn? Like this is an opportunity for growth here. Like there's a lesson in every single step that we take, good, bad, up, down, whatever it is, happy, sad.
Yeah, well, and actually, I feel like the lessons that I learned from the failure were so much bigger than the lessons I learned from when it worked. Because if it had worked, I would have just kept doing it. And failing at it has really made me actually look at it to improve it. It was like I didn't have the drive to improve until I had the failure,
Yeah. Yeah. I think, the failures are the things that really help us grow and evolve. And as uncomfortable and disappointing as they are at the time, without them, we'd be pretty mediocre, if you ask me, because we just go, that easy kind of cruisy mode. But when you really allow that failure to sink in, you take the lessons from it and use it as an opportunity for growth, there is so much more potential out there for us, for all of us. So yes, I love that you took that message on board, took that lesson on board and went, okay, let's go again.
After a few days of feeling really miserable.
It's okay to want to have, a bit of cry. I cry pretty much every day, not necessarily always about work, but I'm a bit of a crier. So I
am as well.
But that's the thing. We have to be resilient and we have to be really kind to ourselves. And I often say, I said to a client this morning we did a coaching call this morning, and it was like, confidence comes from knowing it's okay to be a work in progress. And yet we put so much expectation in ourselves to have everything figured out first go, to be perfect at everything first time we try something, instead of embracing the fact that we are beginners, that we are learning with every step that we take. But when we go into it with that intention of we're here to help people, like I've seen your passion, I've heard your videos, I know how important this work is to you. And that's the important thing. That's the intention that you take forward. Yes, we want to generate revenue. Yes, it's about making our numbers. But we can't just go into it, just with that sales mindset. I think there is so much more to creating a sustainable, financially and emotionally sustainable business at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Very cool. So thank you. I know this was a short and sweet and not quite via Facebook Live as planned. I think the rest of it will be done via Be Live TV. I sort of plug for them. But hey, we made it happen. We didn't let technology win on this occasion, did we?
No, we did not. Well, thank you for having me. And I'm just so thankful for you and for this space that you've created. It really has been just perfect timing and so wonderful to have a place to share the highs and the lows and really feel that you're understood in that space. I really appreciate that.
Well, thank you. I think this group has been a blessing for all of us, and myself included. If you hadn't heard, for those of you watching, if you haven't heard about the 100K in 100-day group, it was an idea that I was meant to keep to myself as a private little challenge. I was nudged to push it forward and to say it out loud to someone else. And within a week, I had 50 odd people say yes to it as well. So, and it's been an amazing experience, again, just to create that space to allow us to see what's possible and what we need to deal with and how we can deal with these things to move forward. And to be honest, you know, the name is a bit, at first I'm like, oh, the name is so icky. Like, it's all about the money. And it's so not what the group is about. Like, it is so not about the money in the sense that it is about setting those really solid foundations to help us get through our own mind shit, to generate these big goals that we set for ourselves. Because we can say, I'm going to reach 100K in 100 days. But if we don't have that foundation and that belief and that mind shit sorted, there is no way we're going to make that happen until we believe it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very cool.
No, I love it.
Now, I'm going to share a link to your webinar that's coming up tomorrow. So any new mums out there, please come in and listen to Catherine. She has so much to share. Go over, if you are a new mum or you're thinking about starting a family, go and just be part of her community, because she is amazing. She really knows her stuff and she really is there to serve. And that's what I love.
Oh, thank you, Tosh. Thank you.
And I'm sending some sunshine your way. I know it's super cold over there at the moment. So
super cold. We live in an RV. We had frozen water for the past like 3 mornings. We wake up and there's no water.
Well, I went out for my run early this morning and I'm staying indoors for the rest of the day. We're due to get to about 38, 39 here, which is about 100 Fahrenheit. So yeah, we're just complete opposite.
Yeah, it is complete opposite.
All right. Awesome to chat with you, and have a great time on the webinar tomorrow.
Thank you. I will keep you posted.
All right. See you in the group. I'll see you soon.
Bye. Bye.